All right, I think we're ready to begin. So, welcome everyone. My name is Sue Juder. I am the marketing specialist here at Business Machine Technologies. I want to thank you for joining us on this snowy afternoon for our webinar. Today we're going to be talking about building a readiness plan to prepare for your Windows 7 to Windows 10 migration. So during today's 20-minute presentation, we're going to discuss why you need to leave Windows 7. We're going to talk about available migration options, and then we'll wrap up with what you need to do now to prepare for Windows 7 end of life, which will happen on January 2020. Then finally, we'll wrap up with our Q&A session, and then we're going to answer any questions that you may have. So with that, I'm going to hand the deck over to my colleague, Stu.
Yep. Yes, Sue, it's sad but true. Windows support is ending. Windows support for 7 is ending January 14th in 2020. So what exactly does that mean? You won't get bug fixes or security patches past this date unless you meet some unlikely prerequisites for Microsoft's extended update support. And those are, the first being if you had purchased Windows 7 through a Microsoft open licensing agreement. And we really don't see any of our clients doing this. Anytime they've bought a Windows operating system, they've bought it with a new PC from a manufacturer. And this is what we're typically recommending because you need an operating system with that PC. The manufacturer will subsidize some of the cost of the operating system and therefore make it cheaper for you. So the new PC comes with the new operating system installed, ready to go. The second scenario is if you happen to be running Windows 7 in a virtual machine hosted in Microsoft's cloud, also known as Azure. And that's a very unlikely scenario. And of course, they're going to support it because they want to support the people that are using Azure. We'll talk more about the extended update support a little bit later in the presentation. So the impact of this is you will no longer be protected against the hundreds of thousands of malware samples that hit the internet every day. It basically becomes a race against time that the hackers always win. So if a new vulnerability is discovered in Windows 10 and a hacker sees, oh, the affected files that get patched are shared with the Windows 7 operating system, they can feel confident that we can write a bug or a virus or ransomware that's going to exploit this patch because it's not going to be patched on Windows 7. So this is going to greatly increase your chances of security risks such as viruses, malware, and ransomware, all of which will lead to losses in employee productivity and business revenue. We know migrating from Windows 7, an operating system that just works, is a hassle and may seem daunting, but the benefits revolved around upgrading far outweigh the negatives associated with staying.
All right.
First, some simple benefits. Windows 8 removed the start menu. Well, it's back in Windows 10. Windows Hello. This is built into Windows 10. It supports fingerprint logins, single sign-on to Office 365 accounts, and Microsoft just announced that they're going to look to be supporting passwordless login. And what that means is you'd approach your PC, it would be tied to your phone, and you'd basically hit a code on your phone, and that would log you into your PC. So you can use a nice, strong password to protect your PC, but not have to deal with that, entering that every time. They've also released an Android phone companion app. You can send and receive text from your desktop. You can also view recent pics that you took from your phone on your desktop. So for Android users anyway, there's no longer a need to email yourself a picture that you want to share with someone or do some editing on your desktop. You can get it right through this app. Dark mode. Many apps, including the File Explorer, can be run in what's called dark mode. Kind of flips everything so that the background is dark and the text is light. This saves on battery life on your portable devices, and also some people find it reduces eye strain. There's also an improved task switcher over Windows 7. In Windows 7, when you're using the Alt-Tab to switch between your open windows, you're just really presented with an icon and the name of what you're working on. In Windows 10, kind of a full screen display pops up, and it shows miniaturized versions of everything that you're working on, so that you'll see the actual Word document, the content that you were last working on. So you can differentiate between even different Word documents just at a glance. But the most noteworthy areas, and what we'd really like to stress on, are in the area of security. Windows 10 has been shown to be twice as secure by reporting half the amount of malware infections of Windows 7 PCs by the major antivirus and malware security vendors. So what this means is these vendors see that their software is installed and up to date with their latest pattern or definition files. And of all those PCs, the Windows 10 PCs have half as many viruses reported. So thereby making it twice as secure. Generally speaking, Windows 7 was released way back in 2009. That makes it about 10 years old. Windows 10 was released in 2015 and has had major updates released as recently as October of 2018. So in all these updates, Microsoft continues to improve the security of the product. For Windows 10 Pro, it includes Microsoft's BitLocker technology. This is a disk encryption technology. You can enable whole disk encryption to protect a laptop that gets taken out into the field, or you can just encrypt folders or just a USB drive that you use to store data on. This protects your sensitive information. This is especially important in industries that deal with personally identifiable information, like healthcare, insurance, legal, finance, and accounting.
All right, so now I understand why I need to leave Windows 7. So Stu, what are my migration options that are available?
Sue, I'm glad you asked. When it comes to migrating from Windows 7 to Windows 10, you have two options: purchase new systems or upgrade the systems you have. For purchasing new systems, the majority of Windows 7 PCs are already close to, if not much older than 3 years old. By replacing all your Windows 7 PCs, you refresh your desktop computing experience. PCs will be faster and less prone to require support, boosting productivity overall. Buying a group of new systems speeds deployment. You can build one image with all your applications, drivers, printers, custom settings, and use that image to clone all the other PCs that you're going to deploy. And that really saves time. A quick tech tip: when going to a new system, you may want to keep your existing monitor or monitors. As you can see, new economy class monitors are about $100 each. If your PCs are running dual monitors, this is a minimum $200 savings per PC. But new PCs are not going to have the older VGA or DVI connections that your current monitors have. They're going to have newer DisplayPort or HDMI connections. So you'll need adapters to connect the new PC to the old monitors. The good news is these adapters cost under $20 each. So you're getting a new PC, got to decide how you're going to get Office on this new PC. In the past, we always recommended purchasing your copy of Office with a new PC. For one, the manufacturer always subsidized some of that cost. Compared to an Office 365 subscription, the return on investment is about 2.5 years. However, that was the past. Microsoft just released Office 2019, and in doing so has announced it is designed to work offline only. The perpetually licensed, frozen in time Office 2019 package exists for those customers that absolutely need it. But for anyone that's amenable to the subscription-based version, we think it's the best option. To demonstrate this point, the company has made a trio of videos in which pairs of twins race to perform some series of tasks in Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. One twin is given Office 365, the other offline-only Office 2019. Naturally, the tasks are designed precisely to showcase those features of Office 365 that aren't found in the traditional version, giving the cloud twins lots of time to poke fun at their siblings. And this is pretty unique. I can't think of any other time where a manufacturer has said, hey, we make two cars. You can drive car A or car B. Car B, you're going to get there slower always. We recommend you use car A. So they're really making a push to have people look at the Office 365 subscription. So while purchasing Office with the new computer is still the most cost-effective option, we recommend subscribing to Office 365. While 2019 has just been released, already Office 365 has more features and is patched to be more secure. For our clients that already host email in the cloud, an additional $8.50 a month gets you a subscription that also includes 1 terabyte of cloud-hosted storage per user through the OneDrive app and also the Teams collaboration app. Office 365 subscribers also get the ability to install Office on up to 5 devices and benefit from the Office apps that are available in the Apple and Google Play Store. So not only can you put it on 5 PCs, you can put it on 5 phones, 5 tablets. So when you consider these additional benefits, the cost of an Office 365 subscription is right in line, if not more of a value, than running a PC with Office 2019 on it for 5 years. So that brings us to our second option. If you're not going to replace the PC, you're looking to upgrade. And the reason why you'd consider upgrading is to save on the cost of a new system. The first consideration is going to be the age of your PCs. We recommend only upgrading systems that will be a maximum of 3 years old in January of 2020. These PCs are certainly more than likely to last 2 more years to 2022. Here's a quick sample of an analysis we did for a client of ours. And as you can see, out of most of their Windows 7 PCs are going to be over 3 years old by the time next January comes. So we really recommend replacing these. There's 4 here that look like they're going to be able to upgrade. The second consideration is the specs. While Windows 10 will run on specs that are lower than these, we recommend them as a minimum, and that being 8 gig of RAM in the PC and at least an Intel Core i3 or better. Your power users are going to want 16 gig of RAM minimum. We recommend you buy a new PC with Windows 10 and deploy it to replace a Windows 7 PC. You can then take the upgradable Windows 7 PC out of service so it can be upgraded with a clean version of Windows 10 and then redeployed. The final consideration is in compatibility and licensing. If your PC was purchased in the last 3 years, it most likely had Windows 10 as an option from the manufacturer, so compatibility is all but ensured. Dell PCs and really most manufacturers purchased with Windows 10 and downgraded to Windows 7. You can use a system restore disk provided by the manufacturer to wipe the Windows 7 install and install Windows 10 at no cost. Of course, in this scenario, you got to be careful about your data, and you're going to have to reinstall your applications. For everyone else, a Windows 10 upgrade license in Microsoft's open license program is about $200. And this is going to ensure compliance with your licensing agreement with Microsoft. There have been reports of Windows 10 upgrades completing successfully and furthermore activating on a Windows 7 and Windows 8 PCs. But this is a gray area when it comes to licensing. Microsoft officially stopped free upgrades of Windows 7 PCs in July of 2016. So you run the risk of being out of compliance should you be audited. The auditors are looking for the paper trail that proves the purchase. Just because all your PCs are running and have an activated copy of Windows 10 on it isn't enough. So what about systems that you can't upgrade? Or you can't replace either? Well, we see this in cases where the PC is connected to specialized hardware. For example, door locks is a common one. And what I mean is those magnetic key cards throughout a whole building, and specialized manufacturing equipment. You know, this PC was sold with the pill encapsulator or the corrugated box maker. In those cases, we recommend that you contact the manufacturer. But if you find that the upgrade is too costly from them, you do have an option. You can purchase the operating system license in the open license agreement. And then later, when it becomes available, purchase the Microsoft Extended Update support. Official pricing has not been published yet, but the insider rumors are it's going to cost you $50 per PC in year one. It will then double in cost each year out to the maximum of 3 years. So the longest Microsoft is considering supporting Windows 7 is into the year 2023. But this will buy you some time to work out the upgrades of this equipment. We further recommend that you harden these installs by removing their access to the internet if possible. Many viruses and malware reach back out for additional instructions, and this will stop those attacks. And a last quick note, if you have a home PC that you're only using or a loved one's using to browse the internet, check email, watch Netflix, you can consider Linux. Linux will secure the PC and continue to get security updates. We make a recommendation here on the most user-friendly distribution. You can also run, there's a version of called LibreOffice, which will install on Linux, and it'll give you basically the ability to edit and open Microsoft Office documents. You can make a bootable thumb drive that will let you test drive it on your Windows 7 PC first before you decide to commit and install it. See if it's right for you.
All right, so what are some things that I should be doing now to prepare for that January 2020 deadline?
All right. So we find that many of our clients already have a mix of Windows 10 and Windows 7. But if you haven't run Windows 10 yet, now's the time to test your applications on it. Purchase a new system today. Install your business apps on it and have a power user at the office test. If you have a number of systems to inventory and you don't have a management agent installed on them to run a live inventory report, you can consider a free program called Spiceworks, and we include a link at the end of the deck. But the point here is you want to get a list of the PCs with how old they are, determine how old they'll be in 2020, and know how much memory and what processors in, so you can determine what your exposure is. Once you understand that, you want to set a schedule based on the number of PCs you need to upgrade and replace. New PCs that have been prepped with a cloned image will take about an hour to install. Upgrading an existing PC can take 2 to 3 hours depending on the speed of the machine. And finally, purchase the needed equipment and get started. Start early. We're already hearing from Dell about processor shortages delaying shipments of systems by 3 to 4 weeks. And I think as the year goes on, we're going to find there's going to be a scramble for equipment.
All right, well, that concludes today's presentation. I want to thank all of you again for joining us this afternoon. We will be sending a copy of the deck to everyone, and we also, if you have any additional questions or you need any assistance with your migration, please feel free to reach out to us. And with that, we will open the phone lines to answer any questions. I think we made it just at the 20-minute mark, so we have like a couple seconds left.